right, so get ready because today we're going to dive into something truly wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's Donald Trump's gold card proposal.
Oh, this is going to be
This
good.
is the one where you can basically buy your way into American citizenship
I can't wait.
for a cool $5 million.
Oh, wow.
Like a fire sale on the American dream.
Oh, man.
So we got a whole stack of articles and research here from places like CBS News,
Mm-hmm.
Time Magazine, and even Trump's own proposal document. So
Buckle up.
buckle up. It's going to be interesting.
This is really something else. This whole thing, it's like something out of a bad reality TV show,
Right.
which knowing Trump isn't entirely surprising.
Well, yeah.
$5 million for a green card?
Yeah.
You think they'd at least throw in like, a free timeshare in Atlantic City or something?
I don't know, right? It's like he's trying to turn the Statue of Liberty into a velvet rope nightclub.
Seriously.
Like, sorry, huddled masses, you need a VIP pass for entry now.
Exactly.
But before we get too carried away, with the jokes here, we do need to sort of understand what this gold card actually is and how it's supposed to work.
So in the simplest terms possible, you hand over $5 million
Easy peasy.
and you get fast track to a green card and eventual citizenship.
Okay.
It's like an express lane for the ultra wealthy, bypassing the whole line of people who are trying to immigrate the traditional way.
Okay, speaking of traditional immigration, remember Trump's track record with the EB-5 visa program?
Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to attract foreign investment too.
Right.
But as CNN News 18 reported, it turned into a bit of a mess with fraud and loopholes galore.
Oh, for sure.
Now he's back with his gold card,
There we go.
claiming it will fix everything and bring in trillions to pay off the national debt.
Trillions. That's a bold claim,
It is.
to say the least. But the legal experts over at the big immigration law blog are already raising some red flags.
Oh, really?
You see, Congress actually controls immigration policy,
Uh-huh.
not the president. So this whole scheme could end up in a legal battle that drags on longer than a season of The Apprentice.
Ooh, that's a long time.
It is.
Okay, so let's just say for a second that this gold card magically becomes a reality.
Okay, hypothetically.
Who's actually to buy this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, according to a Forbes survey, only 2 out of 18 billionaires were even remotely interested.
Really?
Maybe even the super rich have some standards.
Maybe so. It does make you wonder if this is more about political theater than, like, sound economic policy.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's designed to appeal to a certain segment of Trump's base who are already convinced that America's for sale to the highest bidder.
Right, because who wouldn't want to live next door to a Russian oligarch who just bought their way into the country?
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure the folks in Beverly Hills are already planning their welcome wagon parties.
for sure.
But jokes aside,
Yeah.
this gold card raises some serious questions about who actually benefits from this and who gets left behind.
Absolutely. I mean, even Trump's own proposal mentions concerns about housing affordability.
Oh, really?
Imagine a flood of millionaires snapping up luxury condos in already expensive cities.
Oh, my gosh.
That's not exactly going to help regular folks trying to find a decent place to live.
Right, and what about job markets? Is this going to create jobs or just displace American workers?
Right.
Plus, time raises a really important point. Like, what about skilled workers and refugees who are trying to immigrate the right way?
Right.
Are we saying that their dreams are worth less than a stack of cash?
It's a real ethical dilemma, isn't it? Is throwing money at a problem really the solution, or are we just exacerbating existing inequalities?
Yeah.
It seems like the gold card might be more of a gilded cage than a golden ticket.
Oh, I like that.
Welcome back, everybody. So let's continue kind of wading through this swamp of questionable policy that is this gold card proposal.
You know, I was just thinking, as we dig deeper into this whole gold card mess, I can't help but think, is this all just a giant distraction?
Oh, yeah.
Like a shiny gold nugget dangling in front of our faces?
Uh-huh.
Just to, keep us from noticing all the other problems that are piling up.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time a politician used a flashy attention-grabbing scheme
Right.
to divert attention from less glamorous
Right.
but more pressing issues.
Right. It's like, hey, look over there. Shiny gold cards.
They
Don't
keep it.
mind the crumbling infrastructure and the growing wealth gap.
Exactly.
But, okay, let's play devil's advocate for a second.
Yeah.
Let's say this gold card actually becomes a reality. What kind of unintended consequences could we be looking at?
Well, for starters, you could end up with like a two-tiered citizenship system
Oh, yeah.
where the wealthy essentially buy their way to the front of the line while everyone else is stuck in bureaucratic limbo.
Oh, I could already see it now. The ultimate reality show, $1 million migrants.
Oh my gosh.
We'd have cameras following these millionaires around
Uh-huh.
as they try to navigate the complexities of American life, like figuring out how to use a self-checkout lane or ordering a venti latte at Starbucks.
Oh, that's rich. While that might make for entertaining television, I think the reality could be far less amusing.
Yeah.
It could really erode the very concept of American citizenship, turning it into a commodity that's bought and sold like a luxury handbag or something.
Right. And then what happens to all those values we supposedly hold dear, like hard work determination,
Yeah.
pulling yourself up by your bootstraps?
Right.
Do those just go out the window if you have enough cash to throw around?
Precisely. I mean, it undermines the whole idea of America as a land of opportunity for everyone, regardless of your background or your bank account balance.
And let's not forget the potential for, like, corruption.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you dangle a $5 million carrot in front of people, you're bound to attract some shady characters.
For sure.
I'm picturing a whole industry of gold card consultants popping up,
Absolutely.
promising to smooth the way for anyone with a fat enough wallet, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah. The risk of fraud and abuse would be through the roof, especially considering the track record of the EB-5 program. It seems like we're just setting ourselves up for another scandal waiting to happen.
So it sounds like this gold card proposal is not only legally dubious,
Mm-hmm.
but ethically questionable and, practically speaking, a recipe for disaster.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like they took the worst parts of the American dream and put a price tag on them.
Okay, so we've spent a good chunk of time kind of bashing this gold card idea,
Hmm.
but let's take a step back from the dumpster fire for a minute. What would a sensible approach to attracting foreign investment and reforming the immigration system actually look like?
Well, instead of focusing on the ultra-wealthy, we could focus on attracting skilled workers and entrepreneurs who are actually committed to creating jobs and contributing to the economy, not just parking their money in a luxury condo.
Right, like maybe instead of a gold card, we could offer a green card that's actually, green.
Literally.
One that incentivizes sustainable investments and supports businesses that are good for the environment and society as a whole.
Yeah, there's an idea I can get behind. We could streamline the existing visa processes, make it easier for talented individuals to come to America and contribute their skills.
And maybe, just maybe, we could address the root causes of economic inequality and invest in programs that create opportunities for all Americans, not just the wealthy elite.
That would certainly be a more equitable and effective approach, wouldn't it?
It's funny, we're talking about bringing in all this foreign investment, but it seems like we're overlooking a valuable resource we already have right here at home,
Oh, yeah.
the American people. What if instead of trying to lure millionaires with gold cards, we focused on investing in our own communities, supporting small businesses, and creating opportunities for everyone to succeed?
That's a radical idea, investing in our own people. But seriously, there's a lot of talk about making America great again, but maybe true greatness comes from empowering our own citizens to achieve their full potential.
It makes you wonder if this whole obsession with attracting foreign investment is just a way to avoid dealing with the systemic issues that are holding so many Americans back.
Perhaps it's easier to point the finger outward than to look inward and confront the challenges that require real, meaningful change.
So maybe the real gold card isn't a piece of plastic that you buy for $5 million, but rather a commitment to investing in the future of our country and creating a society where everyone has the chance to thrive.
That's a powerful thought, and it raises the question, are we willing to invest in that future, or are we going to keep chasing after these get-rich-quick schemes that ultimately benefit only a select few?
It's a choice we have to make as a nation, and hopefully we'll choose wisely. Now, we've talked a lot about the potential downsides of this gold card idea, but let's not forget the impact it could have on our standing in the world.
Right, imagine the message we're sending to other countries, come to America, but only if you're rich. It doesn't exactly paint us as a beacon of hope and opportunity for all, does it?
It's more like, welcome to the land of the free as long as you can afford the entry fee.
Exactly.
I can't imagine that's going to win us many friends on the international stage.
It's more likely to breed resentment and distrust, potentially damaging our relationships with key allies and undermining our global influence.
And speaking of global influence, what about the national security implications of this gold card scheme? Do we really want to be handing out fast-track citizenship to anyone with a fat enough wallet? No questions asked.
That's a valid concern and one that Trump's own proposal barely addresses. How do you properly vet a millionaire, especially if you're under pressure to approve as many gold card applications as possible? It seems like a recipe for potential security breaches and maybe even a few international incidents.
Imagine the headlines. Russian oligarch with questionable past buys his way into America with Trump's gold card. I can see the late-night talk show host having a field day with that one.
It would certainly be a public relations nightmare and one that could have serious consequences for our national security.
So it seems like this gold card proposal is not only bad economics, bad policy, and bad ethics, it's also potentially bad for our international reputation and our national security. It's like a multi-car pileup of terrible ideas all vying for attention.
It's a reminder that even the most outlandish ideas can gain traction in the political arena, especially when they're packaged in a way that appeals to people's desires for quick fixes and easy solutions.
But as we've seen, there are rarely any shortcuts to solving complex problems.
Yeah.
And often the most appealing solutions are the ones that come with the highest hidden costs.
It's important to remember that the true measure of a nation's greatness isn't how much wealth it accumulates, but how it treats its people both at home and abroad.
Well said. So as we head into the final part of our deep dive, let's keep these broader questions in mind. Is the gold card just a symptom of a larger problem? A reflection of a society that's increasingly obsessed with wealth and status? And if so, what can we do to change course and build a future that's more equitable and sustainable for everyone? Okay, welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into this ridiculous gold card proposal. After spending all this time talking about it, I'm starting to think this whole thing is less about economic policy and more about, branding.
I mean, you're probably not wrong there. Everything Trump does seems to turn into like a marketing opportunity.
Right.
Why not slap his name on a gold card and sell it to the highest bidders?
Right. It's like trying to turn American citizenship into a luxury brand,
Tone it.
complete with gold-plated benefits and exclusive access to the American dream. But, the more we talk about this,
Yeah.
the more it just feels like a flimsy facade.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's all just a shiny object meant to distract us from the fact that there's no real substance behind it.
Right. You can't just buy your way into a nation's values or its history.
Okay, and let's be honest. Does America really need more millionaires and billionaires?
Probably not.
Do we need to roll out the red carpet for even more of them?
I don't think so.
It's like trying to add more sprinkles to a cupcake that's already, drowning in sprinkles.
Yeah, you're just going to make a mess at that point.
Hmm.
Focusing on attracting investment from other sources could actually be more beneficial in the long run.
Right.
Think about small businesses, entrepreneurs, things like that.
Absolutely. There's so much innovation and talent out there that we're missing out on by just fixating on the ultra rich.
It's like going to a buffet and only eating the caviar.
Yes.
You're missing out on all the other amazing food. And speaking of experiences,
Yeah.
this whole gold card proposal really makes you think about what it means to be an American.
Yeah. Is it just about having money and a shiny piece of plastic?
Right.
Or is it something more, something that you can't just buy? It seems like this proposal is basically saying that American citizenship is just a transaction.
Yeah.
Just a financial exchange.
Uh,
It doesn't really have anything to do with values or ideals.
it's almost as if they're saying, hey, as long as you can pay us $5 million, we don't really care who you are or what you believe. Just come on in and enjoy being American.
It's a pretty bleak view of citizenship, if you ask me. It makes you worried about what this could do to our country's identity and social fabric down the line.
Right. What happens when citizenship just becomes another luxury item, for the global elite? Does it even mean anything to anyone else then?
Exactly. And what does
Yeah.
that say about America's commitment to equality and opportunity for all?
These are really important things to think about as we kind of unpack the implications of this proposal.
Yeah, it forces us to think about what America really stands for,
Mhm.
what kind of future we want to build.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder. Is this gold card just a crazy idea that'll eventually fade away? Or is it a sign that America is shifting away from the ideals that made it a symbol of hope for people around the world?
And if we don't like where things are going, what can we do to change course? Because the future of America and the world really depends on the choices we make today.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride. We hope you learned something, maybe laughed a little, and maybe even got a little fired up along the way.
Remember, knowledge is power, and the more you know about the world, the better equipped you are to make good decisions and make a difference.
Absolutely. So until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and don't be afraid to question the status quo, especially when it comes to something as important as American citizenship.